I'm Ryan King, and I'd like to describe a little bit about myself. Some of the most important things in my life are my 3 amazing daughters, my wonderful wife Michelle, and our new puppy Oski. I have been blessed with the opportunity to work with ReeceNichols Ide Capital Realty for 3 years. And I have met some amazing people. I have learned much more than I ever thought I could. I still have so much more to learn. When I'm not doing my passion by selling homes, my other profession is working in radiology in the CAT scan department at Mosaic. I've been doing that for 16 years with an additional 4 in other modalities such as x-ray. I've loved it because I've been able to help some very sick people. It's been educational, and it probably has been one of the bigger inspirations that led me to my current profession in real estate, just because I wanted to find a different way to help people. For the most part, I'm helping people who are looking to make another step, looking to make the next big step towards their future. You know, buying their dream home, starting their family, or maybe selling a home so they can move and go pursue a dream of their own somewhere else. When I am not doing any of those things, one of my biggest passions has always been running. I took up the hobby with my dad about 10 years ago, and it has sort of spawned into just an obsession. He's challenged me, he's put the hammer down several times, and we've ran half marathons, you know, mud races. We've just pushed ourselves to the limit. In doing so, he's gotten a little older, he doesn't run as much. I've been blessed with the opportunity to teach my daughter how to run. And now she's on the cross-country team at Central, and she has picked up the sport like a duck to water. And it is really amazing to watch her blossom. Helping my daughter perform to the best of her ability, because she started off where she didn't even like to go for a nice walk, and right now she's outrunning me. She's really picked it up and just taken off like a rocket. And it is really cool to see her just go from nothing to amazing. My biggest influence is probably my mother. I have learned so much just being around her. She started off as a single mother, raising 3 boys. I watched her push herself to the limit where she could have just rolled over and suffered. She pushed herself to get through college. She is now an intensive care nurse, and she's been so for probably 35 years. She is always trying to help someone, either at work or with her grandkids or just within her church. She doesn't slow down, she doesn't let things stop her, and she does it with the happiest attitude I've ever seen anyone work, even under pressure. She is the embodiment of grace under fire. She's amazing to watch, and I could tell stories all day about when people are just flustered, and she just is calm, kind of like a duck, just moving gracefully across the pond but paddling like crazy underneath. Thank you, Mom, for all you've taught me in life. Thank you for showing me how to be amazing, how to work hard, and how to look calm doing it. Even when on the inside you're freaking out, I know that if I'm freaking out and you're freaking out, you always seem cool, calm, and collected no matter what. And it's taught me a lot on how to behave. One thing that I lucked into this year, I met a couple who worked very closely with the Noyes home. Earlier in my life, my parents were foster parents to children from the Noyes home. Sometimes we would have them with us for a week or 2, and sometimes we'd have them for months. And as we all grew older, we didn't do that as much. And now that time has passed and I am able to give, I don't know if I'll be if I have it in me to be a foster parent, but I would like to help in some capacity. It's really amazing to work with an organization like ReeceNichols Ide Capital Realty, and that they're always finding different ways to give back to the community. They don't take, they want to give. They want to help out whoever, however. I've seen my friends here countless times speak up and say, so-and-so needs help. This person could use something from us. And we find a way to band together and donate or give time or just help in general. Some of my current hobbies and interests are, we like to travel. It's something that, until I met my wife, I had never really had the opportunity to do. But as we speak, we're always trying to plan a new trip somewhere, a new journey, a new adventure. We've been on cruises, we've been to different destinations. We're looking to go to Europe, hopefully Belize. And it sort of correlates with one of my other goals is I want to do more running. I want to run with the bulls. My wife wants us to go to Spain so that I can do that someday. Hopefully by the time we get there, I'll still be in running shape. But my other hobbies are just spending time, quality time with my family. We have 3 amazing daughters aged 13, 14, and 14, and they keep us busy. We recently had a little addition in our family, a little tiny puppy named Oski. Right now he's the centerpiece of the family. We do what he wants to do. We don't have any of our own say anymore. My hobbies are running. I have ran several half marathons. My goal is to run a whole marathon, maybe even an ultra marathon someday. My friends and I like to get together every now and again and run mud races like the Warrior Dash or the Tough Mudder. We love the challenge. We love pushing ourselves to the limits, maybe hurting ourselves a little bit in the process. But it's a good exercise. It's a good way to meet people and to just forge strong friendships. One of the things I've been really blessed with is getting to run it with people that I maybe just hung out with a little bit or maybe just knew through friends, and we've all gotten a lot closer because there are events where a person has to help a person through. There's no single winner, it's a team victory. I don't know if this really counts as a hobby, but my family and I love to get together and work on building projects. We've built sheds, decks, remodeled entire homes. It's probably the closest bonding that our family gets to do. Just the blood, sweat, and tears involved helps us all become a lot closer and gives us something to be proud of at the end of the day. I still have a lot of goals left. I want to travel a lot more. I want to travel to Europe. I really want to travel to Australia someday. I've heard some amazing things about it, sometimes some horror stories, but I want to see everything firsthand. I want to travel the world as much as possible. A personal goal of mine is to run a marathon. I think that it's just something that it really shows determination. It shows consistent hard work, and it shows a never say die attitude. My biggest goals right now are ensuring that my children succeed. I want to watch them walk across the stage on their high school or college graduation days. I want to see them become the successes that I'm confident they can be. I want them to be I want to see them to see themselves as amazing as I am sure they are. What motivates me is that I have always been taught to never quit. I can think of a good example. About 5 years ago, my dad and I were running a race in the middle of February. There was a foot of very dry snow, and we had to go 10 miles, and the majority of it was up some very steep hills. And I remember about halfway through, my legs felt like noodles. There was not an ounce of strength in me, and I honestly wanted to quit. My body wanted me to quit. My mind was telling me I can't let my dad show me up. And we got to a stopping point, and he looked at me and he said, "Are you gonna quit on me?" And I wanted, with a shaky voice, I said, "No, we're gonna keep going." And I ran just on pure grit and determination for the next 5 miles. My legs barely moved for the next 2 days afterwards, but because he challenged me, because he made me look in myself and say, "Are you gonna be that guy to crumble under pressure? Are you gonna be that guy that crosses the finish line even though you're a little banged up?" I learned that there's not an ounce of quit in me. I may not always succeed, but I'm not gonna quit. I'm in real estate because I've always had a strong interest in it. I'm currently in real estate because I have a passion for it. I was blessed to meet my mentor at a point in my professional life when I knew it was time for a change, and it just was the strangest chance meeting, and I'll forever be thankful for it. But my mentor, Glenda Ide, looked me in the eye and said, I think you should look into doing real estate. I think you could have fun with it. I think that you're good with people. And she was patient with me as I got through my courses, as I learned slowly but surely. And I can't thank her enough. It has been by far the best decision I've made. The last 3 years have been the best 3 years of my life. There's been some tears, there's been plenty of laughs, there's been a lot of challenges, but there has not been a boring day. I'd like to take the time to thank Glenda Ide. Without her, I wouldn't be sitting here talking. I was at a point in my other career where I knew it was time for a change. I wanted to do something different. I had no problem remaining in radiology. I still do it to this day, and I still love it, but I knew that I didn't want to do the exact same thing. She encouraged me to look into a career in real estate, and really, it's been incredible, and I can never thank her enough. Some of the other people I can thank from the bottom of my heart. I still remember my first day in the office. I didn't know where I wanted to, I did not know where I wanted to sit. I didn't know where a good place to be was, and I remember my good friend Matt Payden, he pulled me aside, and he's our computer guru, and he said, "Listen, if you sit here, you're 10 feet away from me, so when it all crashes and you have to start over from scratch, you can talk to me and I'll guide you through it." He could have sat me on the other side of the room and said, "I'll never have to deal with that kid again," but it was a nice security blanket knowing that I had him keeping an eye on me. Another good friend who was almost just another few feet away was our good friend Bob Bucher. He has decades of experience, and he's guided me through transactions, some of them that we've actually worked together on, where maybe I could have done something a little bit better and made it a little better for the next go-round. I learned from so much from him. He's always has a smile. He always has a nice, kind warmth to him that's really, I've tried to absorb. I've tried to take that on myself. It makes everybody feel at home. It makes everybody feel comfortable. I can't thank the people from First American Title enough. I remember one of my first transactions that I worked with, I was working with a close family friend of ours, and at the last minute, the lender on the other side sort of dropped a ball. And we were wondering if we were going to make it to the closing table. They were trying to sell their home, and they had another home, and it all had to happen in succession in a short period of time. And our friends out there, they didn't just call us at 5 p.m. and say, "Hey, this is not going to happen." They called at 5, and then they called at 7, and they called at 9. And then I got voicemails at 2 in the morning, and then I got voicemails at 6 in the morning. And then we all showed up at the closing table, and with their guidance, their encouragement, and their help, we walked away and we had everything taken care of. In closing, I'd like to say I want our team, Key Agents, to be your agents of choice. We have 24/7 service. If you can't get a hold of me at 2 in the morning, you can get a hold of my partner Nadine Parmenter, my wife, my partner Michelle King. There's always somebody who's going to be there to help you. My wife Michelle has over 20 years experience in marketing. Working as a team has been the greatest thing that we've all done together. We push each other, we have each other's backs. It's always nice to have not just one agent, but 2, 3 agents have your back. And that has been a huge blessing for our group. I am Ryan King, and I'd love to help you buy or sell your next home. Contact me today.